So with what I feel is my business conscious connection, the dreams that I had, it seems to be coming into fruition, but the dreams are so old, and now that I'm in the now, I feel like something new is coming. I'm being prepared for something, and I know I don't want to think about it. I just want to feel my way into it.
Well, there's a lot of old language that you're using here, and so updating what you're saying just to the simple premises that we've offered here today. There's step 1, there's step 2, and there's step 3. So your life has been a lot about step 1, and you've asked for a whole lot of things. Some of them have come to fruition, manifested fully, way satisfying. Some of them are on the way. None of them are not coming. They're either already manifested or on their way to manifesting. And so step 1, you've done your work. Contrast has helped you. You've done the asking. Step 2 is source is answering it. Step 3 is where it's sort of balled up.
It seems to be more than what I ever asked for, and I did ask to follow source's path. So I don't know what I want. I just want to serve my purpose. I want to feel joy and bliss by serving my purpose.
Well, here are the flawed premises that you've presented to us. The first flawed premise is that you've been sent here with a purpose. That's a flawed premise. You came with intentions which keep changing. The second flawed premise that you seem to feel is that you're without choice in this, when you're with choice in every part of it. The third flawed premise that you're dealing with here is that you're meant to do something and you got to figure out what it is and do it. And that's not how it works. The fourth flawed premise that most people come with is that I was meant to do something, I've been searching around and found it, I think I found it, but something's wrong and I'm not doing it. Everything is based upon from where I stand. Here's the best story. It happened here in Orlando. Some years ago, Jerry and Esther were driving somewhere here in Orlando. Esther's driving as usual. They'd rented a car. Jerry is navigating. Esther's replaced Jerry's navigation with the new navigation system that's in the car. Jerry didn't like that very much, but Esther was so excited, so she programmed their destination in, and off they went. And Jerry's going along with it for a little while, and then he says, you're going in exactly the opposite direction of the way you should be going. And Esther said, how can that be? I put the address in. I did everything that Magellan said to do. Jerry said, I can't explain to you what went wrong. I'm just telling you, you're going in the wrong direction. And Esther said, oh, I have a really good idea. Let's go back to where we started. I will reprogram it again. And then we will be able to tell if I made a mistake or if the programming is screwed up. And Jerry said, or we could just start from where we are and go in the direction toward where we want to be. That's the plan, Sam. That's always the plan. Start from where you are. You don't have to explain where you've been. From right here where you are more clear about what you want on everything than you've ever been before. And you're launching those rockets whether you know that you are or not, and your inner being is in sync with every one of them and has taken it all in, knows where your resistance factor is, and is calling you to your path of least resistance, better said, to your path of most allowance to what you are wanting.
So just get started.
You can't cease to be started. You don't have to get started. You can't stop. You're started. You're already started. But what you can do is want to have more fun. The reason that you smoke poison things, those are your feelings. We're not saying that about. The reason you smoke poison things that you believe with all your heart are killing you is because you seek comfort. You seek comfort. You seek ease and comfort and calm. That's what your inner being is. That's what your inner being wants for you. You seek feeling good. You seek love.
Just stay connected.
Just care about how you feel and understand that feeling your way to it is plugging in the vacuum.
I feel like I not allowed myself to feel negative feelings for so many decades that now it's hard to know what I'm feeling.
But you know why? Because you're a teacher to the very core of your being. You're a born teacher. And once you realized that you were, you thought, I better be good at this, even though you didn't think you were. You are. You're really good at it. So much wonderful stuff came from you just now, and 99% of it we agree with completely. You are source energy. You do know how to tune into the light. You know what it feels like when you're tuned in. It's much easier for you to speak on behalf of others for whom you have no resistance. You open right up. You're a wide open channel. You get it very clearly. But relative to yourself, you have flawed premises and habits of thought that get in the way, and you are not a clear reception about stuff that has to do with you. That's all. Almost everybody is exactly the same way. But friends,
I can still do it.
But that's because you're trying to think your way through everything, because it seems too easy to feel your way there. But just ask yourself, I do something that I believe is really harmful to myself because I'm seeking comfort, but I won't allow myself to just seek comfort by seeking comfort. I have to suffer. I have to suffer for the benefit. There's no gain without pain. Oh, the flawed premises are rampant. And there are people in your environment, and always have been and always will be, that will be encouraging you to not feel good about yourself, but it will never be your inner being, you see. Just keep doing what you're doing, and don't ask for it to be defined.
I know I'm too mental.
Don't ask for it to be defined. We talked about this earlier. We said to the woman in Amsterdam, too vague, too vague, too vague, too vague, too vague. But when she got on the negative end of the stick, oh boy, and you were the same in part today. You got really good with descriptive words. You got all animated, which lets you know you just got momentum going. That words are manifestations. Even emotions are manifestations. You know about chemistry?
Alchemy or chemistry?
You're a doctor?
Retired, yes.
Chemistry is about the mixing of components. This is a world of physics, and this is not apart from that. And how do you think the chemist discovered, what are those things called that they mix together? The table of what?
Oh, periodic table.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are different.
How do you think they're what?
Well, they're all different kinds of gases, compounds,
yeah, but
metals.
how do you think scientists figured out what to mix with what? They blew a lot of stuff up.
Trial and error. That's why they call it practice, trial and error.
They blew a lot of stuff up. They kept wanting the benefit and trying again, and wanting the benefit and trying again, and wanting the benefit and trying again. And so think about the chemistry of emotions. Mix a little of this with a little. In other words, if you really want something, if you really, really want something, and you're only focused upon what you want, and you're in sync with your inner being, and it feels so good, and then somebody says you can't do it. So now you've got two things that are mixed into this chemistry: desire and doubt. Now, if there's a lot of desire and just a little bit of doubt, now you've come up with the new whatever it is called hope. A lot of desire, a lot of want to do it, and a lot of can't do it. What does that chemistry create? Defeat, anger, fear. In other words, you just got to mix your emotional chemicals and don't blow stuff up. And if the goal is not to blow stuff up, then what's on the other end of that stick? To thrive, to find new, better ways. And so you never get it done, and you can't get it wrong, and you never get it done, and you can't get it wrong. You just got to keep living life which launches new rockets. Look toward the rockets as much as you can. Be an advocate more than a protester as much as you can. Find the feeling place. Feel the feeling place. Point your way toward the feeling place. Look for easy existing matches in people, in yourself, in your habits, in all things. And before you know it, you're going to be so in sync with your inner being that you're going to be one of those people where life just unfolds so beautifully for you that most people will think you're
magician.
Magic. Mixing your emotional potions.
Yes, and when I have the desire and doubt, desire and doubt, desire and doubt, I can blow up.
Well, you don't have desire doubt. You have desire opposite of the stick. What's the opposite in? If desire feels like what? Can be or do or have. What does the other end of the stick feel like? Can't be or do or have. And when you mix those two, Depending on how much of this you're mixing with how much of this, you get different emotions. And the entire emotional scale, look at it in your hand if you're not still sitting on it. There it is. There are many more that should be on here. So many different words, but look at all of them. Well, the mixture of that and that equals that. The mixture of that and that equals that. In other words, that's what the emotional scale is all about. How pure are you? How much in resonance are you with what your inner being knows? Because it's a vibrational world only. How much harmony did you have with your inner being, and how much harmony did you have with the things that you learned from your mother when you were really, really little?
Yes. And this past year has been letting go of the false beliefs, letting go of the fear and the sadness and the anger, so that I can feel joy.
What you're going to discover is it's so much easier to look over there than to let go of what's over there. Because when you say, I'm letting go, you're looking over there. And now everything that's over there, you're a vibrational match to. It's hard, really hard to let go of, but it's really easy to go over there.
So just resonate with joy and bliss.
And don't keep trying to define it in ways that other people will understand. That's that word thing that we're trying to get all of you to get over. Don't
I like to try to figure it out. I always try to analyze it. That's the problem.
Most people do, because it's fun to think. But it's even more fun to demonstrate. It's even more fun to realize. It's even more fun for things to manifest, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that part.
Isn't it? This was a really good discussion.
Thank you.
Yeah. 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 How you doing? Feeling more steady? Getting the hang of this? In love with your inner being? Trusting it a bit? Understanding your emotions? Eager for what's coming?